Welcome to Talentless, the podcast that's all HR, all talent, and zero fluff. Hosted by industry talent leaders Desiree Goldie and Ashley King, and made for recruiters who think of talent outside of the box. They're here to dig into the heart of what makes workplaces tick and sometimes blow up. They are not afraid to get into the messy, the meaningful, and the downright motivating. So buckle up, because they're here to make you the best in the business. Now, let's get to work.
Never is it ever.
Never, ever, ever. I am just excited for you to be here, but I am excited for your diner breakfast as well, just so you know.
Look, that's luxury.
I love a good diner.
Okay.
So I just want you to know. It's like my dream.
If you are ever within 50 miles of Rockford, Illinois, open invitation, I will take you to the best diner food ever. And I say this as someone who actively pursues diners. And the more greasy, the better. So, I got you.
Love it. Love it. All right, folks, welcome back to Talentless, the podcast where we talk about all things the world of work and say the things that nobody wants to say out loud. Today's guest is someone I think most of you know and has, done some wonderful work in the world of work. Also, the author of the new book, The Bounce Back, which I read, A Leader's Guide to Liking Yourself While You're Leading People. We are so excited for you to be here today. And so welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes,
right.
We're pumped.
Yeah, we are excited. Let me start this way, and I had like a whole thing I was going to do, but I want to hear why. I know you've written other books. What made you write this one?
Yeah,
What it felt like?
Honestly, this is one of those, like, I was struggling with this my whole life. Trying to know what to do when I didn't know what to do next. I think there were so many moments when I looked back and I could see these like big shifts in my life, but I handled them very, very poorly because I did not know how to navigate uncertainty. I think that was at the core of it, is that I thought there was a rule for everything. Funny enough, right before we hit record, we were joking about that, about how it took me almost 5 years to realize that I could go to a diner on a work day and start work at 11:30 if I want to, because I am the boss. But growing up in a military family, and frankly, with all of the pressure of being the first generation to go to college, the first group to join corporate America, I think I thought there was a formula to being successful, and that is not a great formula for navigating uncertainty.
Oh, God, that feels so real to me. There's one line in the book, and I don't want to get it wrong, so it says, some people might call it a midlife crisis. For me, it was a midlife consciousness. For me, I want to know, that hit me, like when I read it. I was like, whoa. Because I feel like I'm turning 51 this year, Kat, and I'm like, this is like so real. Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
Aw, birthday goose.
That makes me so proud to know that I wrote something.
Oh my God, it was like, whoo.
Yeah.
But what was going on in your life that felt like that?
Yeah.
You know, what made you pick that as the sentence?
I mean, on the surface, I thought I had done all the things I was supposed to do. So I was running a successful business, at least by the terms that I always set for success, which is I have enough money to eat. I have enough money to invest in my future. I can pay my bills, you know? That was the basis of success. I was in this beautiful apartment staring at the Rocky Mountains. I had a great team. I had checked all the boxes, and I still felt this unease. Like I was constantly trying to prevent something, but I had absolutely no idea what it was. And I didn't like my life. And that's really hard to say, but I think truly I realized like all of those things that I thought I had to do didn't actually make living my life feel different. And that's what I was trying to get. And I think that's what I meant when I was writing about that, like midlife consciousness. It's like, no, I wasn't feeling like, oh, the world is falling apart. I felt like everything was fine, and I was still seeking. I was still struggling.
Yeah. And can I ask, because, so just to be super clear, I read like a snail slug that I don't even think they have literacy. So Desiree she read your book like the moment it came out, top to bottom. your girl is still probably in the preface. Like she is just, she doesn't read like that. So let me ask you, and if this is spoilers, then like, hey, don't answer it, okay? But like, what was the piece? Like, have you found that element that was missing? And if this is the plot of the whole book, dude, I'm so sorry. So no spoilers for them, but because you know something, I love that we're having this conversation because this is actually a moment that I'm in right now where I'm like, I should actually be really satisfied. I have so much to be grateful for. I have things that people are begging for, and I'm still sitting here feeling empty. And I'm still sitting here not feeling fulfilled. And I don't know what that is. I have an inkling for mine, but I want to listen to you. Like, what, take us in the world, give us the bounce back. What's all the things?
You know, so that is the premise of the book is
Okay.
So the whole idea is that I think a lot of what happened in the first half of my career led to this moment where I still felt like I wasn't enough. It was managers and the pattern. I was joking yesterday in a conversation that I was like, I have a type when it comes to managers, right? Like, I loved the overachieving individual contributor that overnight went from being the best in their group to being the boss. That was the kind of manager that I was really attracted to, and both of you are nodding because you know how toxic they are. But these were people who did not know how to give feedback, did not know how to grow people. You just had to do the right thing, and then they kind of bullied you if you didn't.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that bullying planted a lot of seeds inside of me that made me feel like I constantly had to be seeking. And then when I was the boss, I'm 5 years into managing all of these people, and I realized that I'm copying and pasting some of those exact same behaviors, and I had no idea. I was not yelling at my people, okay? You will never see me talking like that to other human beings. I think that's disrespectful, and you know, when you've experienced the extremes of that, that's not how I behave. But I think what I realized is that I wasn't doing the most basic things to help them to be a good leader, because I thought leadership was an autonomous act. And I thought life was an autonomous act. That I just had to earn, do, hustle, fill in whatever other buzzword you want, and figure it out. Yeah. And I think what I figured out for me, and Desiree is going to laugh when I say this because you read this part of the book, is like, for me to change, I have to throw myself into an extreme. That's always been my style. And so my style was, I'm going to throw myself into extreme uncertainty because it's going to force me to rely on other people. It's going to force me to learn how to change, how to face these things in real time. And maybe I could do it in this way that I'm actually really excited about, instead of creating some formula and signing myself up for a 6-week class. And ultimately, I didn't realize it at the time, but van life was a life course. It was a life class in how to be a better leader, because I had to figure out how to lead myself first. And that's why I call it the Leader's Guide to Liking Yourself and Leading Your People, because you got to do both.
Yeah, and I think it's something that leaders fail at, right? Like, so much. And it was so great because in the book, I think one of the things you said about feedback that you were receiving, it was like a weapon of destruction. And for me, like, that, another one where I was like, oh my gosh, I have seen people use this as a method of destruction, and people take my feedback as a method of destruction for themselves. And that, for me, is like, that is, you know, that's huge. And I think we miss that piece so much about how do you just even give good feedback as a leader. Yes. And those ICs turned leaders, they're the worst at it. Yep. Right? Because they have no idea what they're doing. And it irritates me so much.
They weaponize mistakes against their team because they weaponize the mistakes against themselves.
That's
correct.
You know what I'm talking about.
They've never...
Yeah.
It's the punctuation mark. Sorry, Ashley, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's the missing one.
Oh, no. Hey, who am I?
You know?
Yeah.
It's that one thing, and then you beat yourself up over it every single time you do it. And then you become a leader, and you beat them up every single time they do it. Like, what a messed up cycle to think that you're doing something good for somebody by literally, like, attacking the problem instead of thinking about a mature solution.
Yeah. The one thing that I say a lot is like the best players don't always make the best coaches, and the skills that it takes to hit a home run are not the same skills that it takes to teach someone how to hit a home run.
Yes.
And if we can't figure out how to navigate that co-pilot space of enablement, of providing just a safe space, right? Like, I feel like there are lots of companies, like, if you ask your boss a question, if you do this, they think you're questioning their competency. Like, that's a lack of confidence in that leader. And that's so evident and immediately reflected back. And so it is something to where y'all are right. Like, you can have the most high-po, best players hitting home runs all day. That doesn't mean that they know how to teach anyone else how to do what they do. And I think it's that gap right there of like, how do I enable someone to do a copy of me? Like, how can I actually teach my recipe? We lack that, man. We just shove them up there and we're like, you did it, so you can tell other people how to do it. And it's like, I don't even know if they know how they did it. They're just doing it. And then, so it's, what you're talking about is spot on. And it's an issue that is everywhere. And right now we have 5 generations in the workforce. It's only worse.
Yep.
Like, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a third of them had therapy weaponized against them, and they were told that they're crazy if they go to therapy. You got a third that actually went, and a third that can't afford it yet.
Right.
Word.
And now we're like, oh, and we want you to act like healed versions of yourself, when the first third are the people who think therapy is for crazy people. Your most senior leaders are people who have not addressed deep emotional issues that show up at work every single day.
Every single damn day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always tell people I had the worst leader, toxic leader for many, many, many years. He was a yeller, right? And like a screamer, and like he was just, he was so horrible. But I tell people, like, why'd you move to your next job for career growth? I said, I was recovering from a leadership. I was recovering from a leader. I needed to get away from him. And that recovery process actually stunted my career for a little bit, because I didn't even know how to be a leader or how to act or how to anything. And so I had to go through this like almost grief process to get myself back to even being a human to other humans, right? I think I'm pretty good at it now, but it took me forever to get over that experience. And then I always felt like I was doing the same thing. I'm not a yeller, but I always felt like I had some of those attributes. And I had to completely remodel what I thought I was doing as a manager and a leader, and know that I don't know everything, and kind of start and regroup. And that's why I love this book, because it really gives you the permission to say, I don't know what I don't know, right? And especially about myself. And I need to do some deep introspection into what that means and what kind of leader I want to be.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's great.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate that, because I don't know about you, but I boomeranged on feedback. So what happened is I went from the yeller, and because I didn't heal my stuff, I went to, I don't need to give feedback. Or I give it the most gentle way. So, like, we are not in mutual understanding at the end of this, how severe it is, because I have softened this to the fact it's like Play-Doh at this point. It doesn't even stick, you know? And I think a lot of the poor leadership that we see today in all extremes, the yeller, the no feedback, the I want to be everyone's friend, and I could go on and on about all the weird stereotypes and type of leaders that I've experienced. It's like they are so often reactions and extreme opposites of what you think is good or bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the trick? I mean...
Wow.
And can we hear about it from both sides as far as your trick bag of magic tricks you're pulling out? Because I kind of want to hear, like, because I'm guessing, because I'm not going to lie, anytime you have a bad job experience, there is this kind of grieve process. Like, you're grieving what you thought the role was, you're grieving what you thought your life was going to look like, and you kind of got to lay that to rest. Like, so on both ends, can we hear about it from, like, your actual, like, bounce back moment of like, okay, I've got to like reconsolidate and pick up the pieces, and then like I'm curious, and even that part, just like the ground zero of where you're just like F and A, man, like where you're just like toss your hands up moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, so I think when I was living in the van, I was learning the lessons, but I didn't realize I was learning the lessons. And I think my bag of tricks, and it's not tricks. What I think of them are as muscles, and they're muscles that I had to build because I had no other choice. And that's why I learn best in the extremes. One of the examples I give is I ran a Tough Mudder as my very first race. And for anyone who's not familiar with that insanity, it's when you run a half marathon with 12 to 15 obstacles in the middle of it. And that was my very first race. Okay. So just to plant this seed in the way that I am an extreme opposite person. It was a yes or no. I grew up in a military family. Everything is black and white. Everything is simple, or they say it is. And so ultimately I learned some key lessons, and I tell the funny van stories, and then I tell how these show up at work. And it's things like asking for help, knowing when I can change direction, learning how to quit without feeling like I am letting down the world, and these lessons, what happened is I kept having to practice during van life, and then I got back to work where I didn't have all the distractions, right? I didn't have the distraction of oh, does my Wi-Fi work today? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Do I need to move? All of those pieces and the constant decision fatigue removed allowed me to practice those in a really practical way where I could see where I was being toxic without even trying. Oh wait, I'm supposed to ask for help right now instead of doing this task because I have a whole team of specialists who focus on this thing, and I could maybe just get my sticky fingers off of it, or we don't have to do this because we thought it was a good idea. We can stop. We can stop halfway. We can stop 3/4 of the way. We can stop at 100% and say, I still don't want to do this, and stop and quit. And it was amazing how much energy that gave my team. I wasn't the only one who benefited from it. I watched them start to thrive and create and have this bandwidth outside of work that made me really proud of what we were doing because we were healing together.
Oh,
that's what
I like that.
Great leaders help us all heal.
Yes.
That's word.
They heal our inner children. They heal our entry-level worker. They heal our middle manager. All those people that live inside of us. Great managers. They make us whole again. And there's something beautiful about that.
Yeah.
There really is.
They're healthy reminders of what it always should have been. Yes. What we should be to others and what we wish we would have had for us. Those to me are the beacons, and because you only need one good one to set the tone, and it's going to illuminate all of the inconsistencies, fallacies, and everything that's an issue within everyone else. And especially whenever it happens, it can be quick too. I'm only sharing this part because I'm kind of in it in the moment, but it's very much you're spot on. The emotional resilience that it takes to manage a team and also think that you're doing it well and actually do it well. All of those 3 data points are 3 different things. And again, that emotional resilience to stick with it, carry it through, have these other lives that are impacted by your decision making because they take all of this home. It's a big seat. And people don't give it the weight that it's due and the impact that you make on individuals' lives. My husband always tells me all the time, the number one person who hates your boss is your spouse. Because they always have to hear the stories about everything. And so he always has a thing, and he's like, well, I'm supposed to hate them the most. So, but it's something that we know is true. You're carrying it home with you, because no matter who you are at work, you can't chop yourself up and just be okay, there's that one. You're still a whole person the whole way through everywhere you go. Yeah. So I think if we started giving more reverence to the actual life, not the position, but the human, not the title, I think things could change. So I'm going to stop yapping here because obviously we're literally here for Kat and I need to hear Kat. I'm such a waste of space. Please speak.
I deeply feel that. I think when I came back from van life, I think I just felt steadier waters, right? And I was coming at it from a steadier place. And from that place, I could see how impactful we are on every person we lead. You know, like, it's not just my responsibility to teach these people how to be good at their job, which I think is part of it, is to coach you into delivering the best product that I think you're capable of. But I think the second part of it is that I realized my responsibility in helping them manage the life part. Because like you said, we don't get to chop ourselves up into bits, and work and life are not distinct as much as the balance proposition makes them appear or pretend to be. It's like, I want to be one of the first people. This actually happened just this week, and someone on my team called me to let me know that their mom died in the middle of the night. And I hold that responsibility to her with all my heart. But I also believe that that trust of her saying, I don't know when I can come back, and me saying, okay, we got you. Like, that's healing for every part of us, and I think it allows us to reach our potential of the world. Like, the work I do, the reason I wrote this book, the reason I do the recruiting talks I choose and the topics that I dive into, is because I believe that my purpose on this planet is to push the door open just a little bit farther so the next person can get through.
What a great mission.
I love it.
I believe that with all my heart, that I was put here to just like push as hard as I can, and I was given enough energy and words and ideas and curiosity to be able to pour my energy into that, and also to recognize when I have to keep my cup for myself and I gotta move all my shit in the van and not talk to anybody for a little bit.
So I've got to ask, where in the van, where was like some of the coolest spots that you went? Not take us away from talent and all the important stuff, but let's just focus on that van for a minute.
So
I'm very curious about the van.
The first month of van life, I did the entire coast of Florida, which obviously I probably wouldn't do in this political climate. But in January, there's really not a better place to be living outside than Key West.
Nice.
Like, I went to Key West. I met a fireman on day one who told me where to park for free. I got on my bike and I rode around Key West for like 2 days with a jar of sangria in my backpack. Like, that is life. Okay?
That's the best day I've ever heard. Why aren't we doing that right now?
Right.
Like,
No,
what
I
are we
know.
doing?
Like,
Catch us at Wreckfest, y'all.
Exactly.
Sangria on the back of our bike.
I'm just going to show up with a backpack of sangria and be like, hey, y'all.
Dude, don't check the bags, y'all. Like, we're coming.
Okay, so heading west, I think New Mexico is the most underrated state in this entire country.
Interesting.
And it is a very, very blue state in a very red area of this country, and it's weird. But, like, not Portland weird. It's weird, like, oh, these people actually care about each other, and they want the best for their neighbor, and they think everyone should be employed and have access to resources. Like they provide free childcare in the state of New Mexico. They have health care. They have, I mean, it's remarkable. And the mountains. Oh, the mountains are stunning. All the way from the bottom to the top. It's beautiful. Just take I-25, stop wherever you want. Stunning. And the last one I would give you is in Vegas. There's a place called Valley of Fire that's about 45 minutes away from the Strip. So if you get stuck in Vegas for more than like 3 days, we all know you got to rent a car and like go do something, or else you kind of like twitch from
you out of money, honey.
Right?
Yeah.
If it's not summer, go to Valley of Fire. It's like $10 to get in it, and it is otherworldly. If you love like Star Wars and space, it is like space, but on Earth. Stuff you have never ever seen, I can almost guarantee.
Okay. I'm interested.
Interesting. Everybody goes to the Valley of Fire right now.
Yes. And Montana.
Space on Earth.
I got stuck in Montana.
I know, Montana's gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous, so that's why.
I went for a week, and I was there for like 3 months. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just loved it.
I bet. I've always heard it's stunning. Like,
it is
just
beautiful.
a beautiful
If it
place.
didn't get that kind of
It really
ugly
is.
cold from like August to March,
Yes.
I'd consider it.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's how I feel about
it's so cold. It's like and ugly cold is the right wording there.
Yeah.
It's like nasty cold. I can't do it. I live in Texas.
Yep.
You know?
That's shovel the roof weather. I don't do that.
Oh,
No.
what? I don't shovel
happening.
nothing. Yeah, no, shovel nothing for me. Like, the cold makes my spine hurt. Like, it's not going to work well.
This episode is brought to you by DEI Labs, re-educating corporate America with immersive, data-driven DEI training for HR and hiring pros. Ready to shift systems and spark real change? Visit DEI-labs.com to get started. Need a resume that actually works? Resume Writing is a female-owned team of recruiting pros helping job seekers land the roles they deserve. Get expert help at resumewriting.com.
Ashley's going to hate this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Oh, snap.
In the world that we're moving to with AI and all this crazy, I would love to hear kind of your views on leading in the world of AI. And, we're just at the beginning of this thing. And so I'm interested to just hear your take on it. And if you have one, I would love to hear it.
So next week at RecFest, I'm going to give a presentation that I've been working on for a little bit for the very first time. And it is called The $1 Billion Problem. And it's about job data. And the hypothesis I am making is that our data is standing between us and all of our AI aspirations. And we're all gonna, can I say the F word here?
Yeah.
We're all gonna fuck around and find out and hit the wall really soon. Because right now we have inconsistent and unreliable and unpredictive, meaning this piece of information, example, a job posting, actually doesn't predict who we get on the other side. It's kind of a blurred estimate of what you think you're going to get. And I think we have to get that right, or we're just going to waste a lot of money on AI. And right now, we have a lot of HR technology companies who are trying to create false illusions of taxonomies around skills.
Yeah.
I think skills-based hiring is trash, and I'm going to say that out loud. So please give me a little bit of an applause when I say that, and all of the vendors look at me like I just told them their baby was ugly. But I believe we're creating false taxonomies because they do not have a fundamental understanding of work and the data that we need to be predictive. And so I have kind of invested my energy and attention into trying to figure out an answer to that problem. And I'm going to give a couple of quick solutions I know work because I've actually implemented them and helped teams do this at scale across, teams that are hiring between 1,000 and 5,000 people a year. And I'm just going to kind of give the 4 things I do know work so far, and give everyone kind of what I know, because that's kind of what I think about AI right now is anyone who's absolute is a liar. And so my whole thought process and kind of what I try to do every week with my blog and even conversations like this is just tell you exactly where I'm at right now and what I figured out.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to steal the AI, absolute AI, you're a liar line for everybody. Just everyone on the planet, okay? Because it's just unbelievable to me.
We're all AI experts.
All in one.
Yes.
If I hear the phrase all in one more time, these
all in
eyes
one
are going to lock somewhere back here. They're not.
Oh my gosh. One more recruiting tool that says that, I'm going to throw you in the trash, seriously. And it's just so bad. It's so bad right now.
Desiree was someone that we were at the HR Tech conference on the floor giving a podcast in front of all of these HR Tech brands. And this woman literally says, well, as far as I'm concerned, all of HR Tech is trash. That's how it starts. And you know what, though? She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong, because it's made by people who haven't ever been in HR or TA. It's made, honestly, they make their money off of people and process dysfunction.
Exactly.
That's how they profit. So they are not aligned with people in process in general. This was our whole podcast in front of all of them.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, we were like, by the way, women are 51% of the population and 2% of the population in HR tech, but 81% of the people actually operating it. So, like, where are the ladies and why are we profiting? Because the only people who really profit in HR are the ones who make the tech. They're the ones who move the needle. It's just like, greenhouse. Okay, so greenhouse and clear. Like, that's going to move a needle for the future. Like, no matter what happens from this, no matter what decisions an ATS makes, it's going to change what ends up happening, because now they're having to take additional layers of, is this person real? Is this? And so now we're going to use biometric data, and that's not, right now we have other types of protected classes as far as your genetic information, but we don't necessarily have anything up to date on biometric data. So for me, that's my issue, is like the tech is moving way too fast, legislation's moving way too slow. There are people in this who are like, we don't even have the people getting their shit straight enough for us to slap on a fake person and say, okay, go do that. And it's like, y'all can't even manage real people. Like, now we're going to, so it's very much where, again, we pull these levers, people pull the HR tech lever whenever they should be pulling the people management and process improvement lever, and they slap it on like a Band-Aid. Exactly. So hey, just know that you're in the right room. Like, if you want to ever meet someone who will tell HR tech they're trash to their face, her name's Desiree. She's right here. And literally whenever she said it, I was like, Desiree, we can't say that.
I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Like,
no, but
don't get me.
I love it.
So you're in great company.
No, and that's exactly the point I'm going to make, and you're going to love this presentation, because that's kind of the
I love it already.
Writing one job post is not going to help anything. Writing 500 job postings, AI generating job posts does not fix anything. Right? Skills-based hiring makes the problem worse. All the things that make a bad job posting are actually the archetype of what skills-based hiring is based off of. What actually fixes the problem, and where we should be focused on right now, is process. And I want to be so clear, this is not about iterating, okay? You know that Henry Ford quote is when he said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have told me they wanted a faster horse.
Yes. Yes.
When you are designing your process right now, I dream that someone, anyone, will just say, you know what? Let's start from a blank slate. Let's start from data. Let's start from research. Does this make sense? Is it predictive of the outcome we want? Does it help us get there? And that's the work I'm doing right now, and that feeds my soul. Like, people are at HR Tech, people are like, you seem so happy. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm not copying and pasting the same bullshit I'm doing and expecting people to be better, because they aren't. They don't fundamentally understand what we need, and that's why we need to start from zero, not change this step, expect drier results.
Thank you. So much of what we do is in people's imagination of what they think it should be. And I'm sorry, but without data, you are just an opinion. And I can't use that to create a whole Fortune 200 company process on. We need to get in there. And this is the other thing. Because there is no recruiter university until Talent Ed was created, but because they don't even know how to read data. Like, they don't know how to see and connect the dots of like, oh, because of this and this, you're not filling the job because your recruiter's bad. You're not filling the job because it looks like you have 5 people that have gone to executive and they all get cut off. That's an intra-team misalignment. That's an issue from leadership to them. That ain't got nothing to do with talent. And so it's even just tiny things like that, of like just carrying the accurate narrative of what we see by looking at data. And it's like, it's not even like, there's just so much room for activities, but so much room for like learning. Sorry to bring Step Brothers into it, but I had to for the moment. But so much room for like learning and literally just making this so much flipping better. I'm going to stop talking. I need to listen to
Because the talent leader, and this is why most HR tech solutions are not solutions at all, is because they do not fall in love with problems. They fall in love with monetization of problems.
Right.
Great talent leaders, the HR, recruiting, and I make this the big bucket of talent, meaning we are the people function. The best of them fall in love with the problem. They fall in love with it. The best consultants, they've fallen in love with a problem. And they deeply research it. I love job postings. Nerdy as shit. I don't care. I love job data because I know it is the first door we open. I told you my life's purpose is to kick the door a little bit. That's the door. That's the first door.
Right.
And I did a 100-year research study of them. Tell me you think some skills-based hiring vendor who went to MIT and has never had a real job is going to come up with a solution for this problem.
Yeah. Right, it's exactly the point. You're 17 steps away from the actual thing that you're trying to solve. It makes no sense.
Yes.
And that's 90% of HR tech owners. They were some manager in their first job and hated the way an ATS worked, and now here we are, hyper ATS in the beat, and they're like, well, we don't know where to take it to the next step or do this or do that. And again, it's just so interesting to me how much of that sector that is fully in charge of essentially HR innovation, TA people innovation, as far as it's concerned. And the ones that get to push the envelope, it's just so interesting to me how much of it is not owned by people in the practice. And it's shocking to me how much of it is strictly based off of how much money can we make from their dysfunction. Indeed, profits from your dysfunction. How do I know that? Because they were the ones that posted articles of how do you beat the ATS. What?
No.
Like, they were the ones that started, because I did a research project on that, 100 years, I swear, trying to figure out, where did this even come from? Can anyone name an ATS we can't beat? And where did the resumes that we lost, where did those go? Like a unicorn island? Like, can anyone answer any of these questions for me? And the answer is no. And so, again, it's an interesting time to be alive in HR. Because sometimes it's just like, why are you here?
In these streets.
Well, and I think full circle moment, right, is the other conversation that's happening right now because of this wild, wild west of what's hot, what's not, and everything else, is how do we upskill in real time? And I think this is also an area where we are severely lacking because no one is willing to say out loud that the best upskilling that you could possibly do is just to prepare your team for how to thrive in uncertainty.
Right. Right, which is a skill most of them don't have, right?
Living in the gray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me ask, what would you say is like number one weapon of destruction in your toolkit that you would keep? Sorry, I said weapon of destruction because you all said that. But no, what is a weapon in your toolbox that you would keep that you say helps with that portion? And something that people should have in their toolkit so they're not falling into that.
Slowing down. Removing urgency. Because the things that we pretend are urgent just aren't.
I know.
Manufactured
Yes. Urgency, it literally will make you miserable. My letter, actually, tomorrow is about that. So I went to Italy for my birthday, right? I took this sabbatical. I felt so fancy, not working, right? I felt like magic. I mean, I was in that place where I was like eating a croissant on the street. You got me? And
you and sangria bites and croissants on the street,
well.
like what?
I eat well.
I'm telling you,
And
we're coming in your backpack.
Picture this. I get to the airport, and I'm surrounded by Americans, all trying to get on the plane back to the U.S., and that magic was just...
It was destroyed.
It was gone. And I realized it was because I bought into the urgency.
Yeah.
I chose urgency over the magic. And the reality is we don't come up with any answers because we rushed ourselves. We come up with our answers because we have space. So I think the real magic is probably the idea that I have invested more in learning about creativity and idea generation because I can't take one more prompting class. I'm sorry. But I can't take one more awful AI class. I don't know how many you've taken, but I've had enough.
I've taken a couple, and they're horrible.
They're awful.
I don't take any, and I know that sounds terrible. I'm probably the hot take of the opposite. I haven't taken a single one, and it's because until we have people and process fixed, I'm not even moving to it. Okay. I mean, we use it. I know I check my AI with my AI, but you're spot on. Like
that's
anyway.
It.
Sorry, keep going.
No, I'm just saying. Like I think that's it. It's like I'm leaning into learning how to come up with ideas and creating flow around creativity. I want to be better at creativity right now because that's the part that AI not even going to touch.
I always tell my team, like, if you're working at 100% at an 11 all the time, you have stopped being creative and innovative. Like, I need to make sure your workload is somewhere in the 7s or the 6s, even if I can get it there, because then you're going to come up with all this great stuff, and you're going to be creative, you're going to innovate, you're going to come up with ideas, you're going to really spark, and you're going to want to come to work. If you have your team working at an 11 all the time, it kills all of that. So I love that you're embracing that creativity part. I wish more teams and would do it. This idea that we always need to be at rapid speed. Unless my heart is stopped, I don't know why anybody is running around, like running around fixing all the talent problems or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Slow down, chill out.
Yes.
It's going to be okay.
There's two things that made me think about. Is number one, the research actually suggests that is the best way to lead a team. So the research says that if you are reaching more than 85% of your goals, you're not actually learning anything. But we all know that goal setting is not built around any margin for error. So as a leader, I always keep that in mind. Like, let's get 85%. That's our aim. And when we are hitting 100%, I know that I am actually not pushing this person or growing them the way that I want to. But second, something that we did on my team that really helped with the urgency is we had an explicit conversation about SLAs around responding to email. And I think we skipped this one because we think, like, we're all adults. You can decide when you respond to your email. No. This is a trauma response that shows up, and I noticed it in one of my people who, she was an intern for me, and then she went and worked at a recruiting agency for a really toxic boss, and about 2 years later, she called me up and was like, please, can I come home? Like, please.
Can I come home, Mom?
I was like, come on, let's go. And I plucked her right back, but urgent response to email is a trauma response, and so we just added it to our email signature, and it says, I respond to most emails within 48 hours so that I can fully consider what you're asking. And we just
that's
tell
so
them.
beautiful.
I have it on every single email I send. It's going to be 48 hours. When I bring someone new on the team, it's going to be 48 hours unless you text me. And I remember I commented on someone's LinkedIn, and I said that. Y'all, you would have thought that I, like, challenged one of their core beliefs or something and told them, like that I really fucked them up. Like, aren't you letting people down? I was like, go to therapy.
Therapy.
You need some help, bro.
Need
Not
help.
for me. Because if you think an email is more important than your sanity, like,
But that's the world we live in. It's really sad, right? And especially in the United States. You know, the fact that you were getting on a plane with Americans and, like, the bottom fell out. It's true, right? Because we're always, it's ridiculous. My mom's like, I don't understand why you work 1 million hours a day. I don't know, because I live here in the United States, and this is what you do. I don't know what to tell you, Mom, but this is what happens. But it's so unfair to a person, their mental health, their body, their physical, mental, spirit, and you just can't be working at this level all the time and expect good results. It can't happen. And I think as leaders, it's our responsibility to make sure that isn't happening. And in most workplaces, that is not true, right? It is not true. It's like, I need to hit these goals, so you're going to work really hard. I'm going to work really hard. We're all going to be crazy together in this, like, crazy pot. It's insanity. It's total and utter insanity to me, right? And that we haven't slowed down yet, and we haven't figured out this is the problem. So I am here for it.
Yeah. And
Right?
I think that there's, like, new age generational impact as well, as far as, like, Des, like, whenever your mom was working, if her boss wanted to reach her, they had to wait till she showed up.
Right.
Like, now it's on my phone, it's on my watch, it's on my, like, I can't get away from the girl.
Right.
Like, is she following me everywhere?
Right.
And so, in that light, and whenever we're looking at macro systems change like that, it's almost like we got to go 5 steps further to make sure that our employees know, like, because I on my signature have, I'm sending this when it's convenient for me. You respond when it's convenient for you. Because I have kids. If I got to cut out half the day, then I will, and I'll get back on at night, and I'm going to do what I want. But I also know I'm a manager, and I don't ever want that to intimidate you. So I want you to respond whenever you feel it's respond, and having that clear, concise conversation of like, this is the culture, this is the maintain, and this is whenever I would say we're not hitting success. So as long as we stay on these bounds, we're cool, dude. And so like that, and so I completely agree. And I think, again, we don't have enough people paying attention to the macro fact of even the way that we reach out to employees. It's in their pocket always. Like there's never a time it's gone. It's on their phone. And I even work somewhere where we have a work phone, but I still bring them because it's like, so it's just something where what you're saying is it's such a thoughtful but tiny change that makes a large impact. Yeah. And I don't even think our times have caught up to that idea of the access that we have to employees and how we're not respecting that boundary as employers really much anymore. Yeah. And what that does to the psyche in general of like always being on, and that idea of I need to respond because I got it, even though it's 6, and it's just this brand new perception of life of now they can count me for unperformance in my personal time, and that wasn't something that could have happened before.
Yeah. So many of the standards of work are contrary to the values that we paste on the wall.
Right?
Like they'll be like, we're compassionate and caring, and I expect you to respond to an email at 9:30 at night.
Right.
How your behavior has to reflect your values in action, or they are just vocabulary words, and this is not a kindergarten classroom, and we don't need those posters.
Yeah. No.
Stop with the posters.
You mean the courage poster with the bear on it and the holding a ball isn't...
My personal
That's
favorite,
not going to inspo us?
Remember, I did Fortune 500 EVPs for a big chunk of time before I started 3 Ears Media, so I can actually draw the circle for you, and the wavy line through the middle that has 4 different colors of each of the values. I could AI generate some values for you right now. Everybody wants a highly collaborative team player to join their group of rock stars to accelerate the future into the AI world.
There you go.
Efficient, high effectiveness, performing, like all the cool slogan terms. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Rock stars.
One thing. I know, I'm the worst. Desiree, don't look at me like that. It wasn't that much of an interruption. It was just like a light one, not like a heavy one. The only thing I was going to say, one thing that Kat hit on that I was like, that's so spot on, is the urgency part. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all the managers that I reported to that actually felt like an adult in the room, which to me, that's the feeling I get whenever it's a good manager. Like I actually feel like we have an adult in the room who is a calm, steady force that knows their stuff, that is like, and I'm going to share this one, but there was a gentleman that I used to work with. He had come over from DuPont, and he was the head of sales for this large group, and we just acquired them. They weren't making as much money, and everybody was freaking out. And he took us all to dinner in Louisiana, and he said to us, he's like, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to hear something from me that you may not hear from anyone else, but I'm not going to say the company name, but he was like, at this point, I'm just going to use the term DuPont because they weren't DuPont at this time, but he was like, we made money at DuPont then, we're going to make money at DuPont now, and I don't need y'all to be worrying about that piece. I need you to and I don't know why, but that was the first time I had ever heard a leader just straight up call it out, the elephant in the room, and be like, I know everybody's freaking out. And sometimes they'll do that, where it's like, oh yeah, we had to stop hiring, so it's not a layoff, and we'll talk about it. But this was the first time that someone was actually like, yeah, P&L's not matching. Stuff's going down. But I can, and he was right. And he was a steady force, and it kept them calm enough to keep producing to where they did make their bottoms lines match. But anyway, that was the last thing I wanted to add on, was because I was like, the idea of urgency, this calm, steady force, that is something, it's such an attractive trait. Yeah, genuinely, I can't express it enough.
And no one is thriving when they're scared. This is not some Moneyball, Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of work. That we do not thrive there. And that's another chapter of the book, and the research that I did going into this is looking at why we are so hardwired to fear. because it is innate. And I think you just hit on something I think is really, really important to say is like, part of our responsibility is to help people not be scared, because you'll never create your best work if you are operating from fear.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
And so many leaders manage out of fear. That's like their go-to box. That's their
It's their
toolkit.
favorite
Yeah.
toolkit. They're like picking that one up every day, you know?
Yeah.
So
Both of my parents are military officers.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
We'll
So it's
just
like-
leave that there.
Wake up in the morning! Like, yeah.
No,
Woo!
I mean, truly. I see it show up in me all the time when I'm like, do I need to apply this level of rigor to this problem? No. That's life-altering.
No.
That's 40 over 30 right there.
There you go. God, this has been fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so good. We are so excited to see you at RecFest as well. Everybody, don't forget to get the bounce back factor. I don't know if you can see it with my big white light there, but by Katrina Kibben. I read it. It's fantastic. They are fantastic, and I am super excited for this episode to come out for everybody to listen to. Kat, any last words? And then give us all the what do you call it, Ashley? When we talk about where to find them?
Oh, didn't you call it a plug party?
Yes.
It's your plug party! Like this little baby plug party.
Kat, please do the plug party for us.
Plug
I
party.
appreciate it.
I have nothing to add except thank you to both of you for allowing me to just show up exactly as I am, to feel like I'm talking to two old friends about how we make life just a little bit better, because I think that's when we all get to do our best work, is when we just push that door just a little bit. And so for my plug party, what I always say is I'm the only Katrina Kibben in the world, so if you spell my name right, you'll find me. If you spell my name wrong, you'll find a priest for the U.S. House of Representatives, and you will know that you were in the wrong place, because I am too gay for that job. And I would absolutely love for us to connect. If you want to see the pretty pictures from van life or anything else that I'm doing, that's over on Instagram. But all the recruiting stuff is on my YouTube channel and on LinkedIn.
Wow!
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. I'm Desiree.
And I'm Ashley. And thanks for listening to Talentless, where we keep it real in the world of HR.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to hit subscribe and give us a follow on Blue Sky, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We're here to keep your feed packed with everything you need to level up in recruitment and HR.
And be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And hey, don't miss out. Sign up for our newsletter for fresh insights and follow us on socials to stay connected with both Ashley and me.
Thanks again for joining us on Talentless. Until next time, we'll see you then.